TSA rules for 2025 aren't hidden, but every day people check bags with banned items and wonder why their flight just got delayed. So let's break it down. These are the 15 things that should never go into your checked bag. 1. Fireworks. If it explodes, ignites, or even throws a little sparkle, it's banned. End of story. TSA doesn't care if it's a leftover Roman candle from your cousin's wedding or a box of sparklers you bought on sale after July 4th. The moment it goes bang, you're not checking it in. Fireworks are classified as hazardous materials, and if you try to sneak them into a checked bag, congratulations. You just gave airport security a reason to treat your suitcase like a live grenade. Doesn't matter if it's sealed in bubble wrap, duct taped to your jeans, or tucked between a pack of socks. The cargo hold isn't built to handle flames, combustion, or just one fuse. The second you hear the word pressurized, fireworks should be the first thing scratched off your packing list. And if you think TSA will make an exception because it's just a few, you're living in a fantasy. These rules don't bend. You don't just risk losing your firecrackers. You risk losing your seat, your bag, and your dignity when security pulls it out in front of everyone. Second, pressurized containers. Whipped cream, spray paint, and altitude, horrible mix. Spray anything under pressure, and now imagine it shaking around in a freezing metal box at 35,000 feet. That's not safe. That's a recipe for a mess. Or worse, a mid-air disaster. We're talking CO2 cartridges, propane tanks, spray paint, whipped cream canisters, bear repellent, all banned. One tiny leak, one cracked nozzle, and you've got gas shooting through your bag like it's a malfunctioning fire extinguisher. Think your clothes will survive that? They won't. Think the airline will pay for it? Also number. And don't even start with, but I packed it carefully. Doesn't matter. Even strapping it in with your socks or wrapping it in a hoodie won't save it. If it says flammable, pressurized, or explosive, it's grounded. This rule isn't new, it's not obscure. Yet every year people still try to smuggle full-size cans of paint, WD-40, or even butane torches like they're headed to a construction site. The label is there for a reason. If it blows in the hold, it's not just your bag that goes up, it's everyone's problem. 3. Dry ice. Yes, you can technically check it, but don't get cocky. Dry ice isn't just frozen smoke, it's solid carbon dioxide, and when it starts melting, it turns into gas. Too much gas in a sealed space? That's how you turn the luggage hold into a pressurized death trap. That's why the rules are very specific. You can only pack up to 5.5 pounds, 2.5 kilograms, of dry ice. It has to be in a container that allows the gas to escape. The package needs to be clearly labeled dry ice. And you must tell the airline staff you're checking it. No skipping the announcement, no silent check-in. If they don't know about it, it doesn't fly. People try to bend this one all the time. Some pack it in sealed Tupperware. Others wrap it in towels thinking that'll slow the melt. All that does is build up pressure until the thing pops like a balloon full of poison gas. If you're transporting frozen meat or seafood, follow the rules to the letter. Get the weight right. Label it clearly. And tell someone. Otherwise, TSA will happily toss your precious salmon straight into the bin while you argue about intent. This isn't a camping trip. It's air travel. Respect the limits or lose your stuff. 4. Tools that could injure someone. Sure, you can pack tools in your checked bag, but not everything in your garage deserves a plane ticket. A basic wrench? No problem. A screwdriver set? Probably fine. But once you get into serious hardware, we're talking chainsaws, crowbars, machetes, axes, power drills, or anything gas-powered, TSA starts asking questions. And they're not friendly questions. Because, let's be honest, if your bag looks like it belongs in a horror movie or a bank robbery, it's getting flagged. Here's the rule of thumb. If it can bludgeon, stab, slice, or spark, you better check the guidelines. Even if you're just flying home from a job site, TSA doesn't care about your DIY projects. A gas-powered nail gun, for example, might be totally normal to you. But to the average airport screener, it looks like you're planning to rebuild a crime scene. Power tools are especially tricky. They're allowed in checked bags only if they're fully powered down and fuel-free. No gas, no batteries. And if the tool has sharp edges, it needs to be wrapped or covered. Otherwise, it's a flying hazard, literally. Unsecured blades and bits can slice through bags during turbulence. And nobody wants to explain to the airline why your angle grinder gutted someone's Samsonite. And let's not forget about the batteries. Many tools use lithium-ion packs, and those come with their own rules. If the battery isn't removable or doesn't meet FAA standards, guess what? Your tool's not flying. Period. At best, they confiscate it. At worst, you miss your flight while getting interrogated about why you brought a chainsaw on vacation. So, before you play airport handyman, read the TSA rules, call your airline, and use your head. If it looks like a weapon or runs on flammable fuel, it belongs in a shipping box, not your suitcase. 5. Smart luggage, if battery is non-removable. Your suitcase may be smarter than you, but that doesn't mean it's cleared for takeoff. Smart luggage has exploded in popularity, sometimes literally. These techie bags have built-in GPS, phone chargers, motorized wheels, and even remote locking features. Sounds convenient, right? It is, until you realize the lithium-ion battery powering all those fancy functions can cause a serious fire hazard mid-flight. The rule is simple. If the battery can't be removed, the bag doesn't fly. Not in checked luggage, not in the overhead bin, not at all. The reason? These batteries have a history of overheating and catching fire. And once a lithium battery starts burning, you can't just toss a wet towel on it and call it a day. The FAA takes this stuff seriously, and so should you. A flaming suitcase in the cargo hold is how you turn a flight to Orlando into a breaking news story. If your smart bag has a removable battery that you can take out and carry with you in the cabin, you're good to go. But if it's permanently installed, sealed in the lining, or designed in a way that requires tools to remove it, airport staff will reject it on the spot. And yes, it's happened thousands of times. Before you even pack your smart luggage, check the specs. Does it say removable battery in clear writing? If not, leave it behind or bring a backup bag. Otherwise, that fancy suitcase of yours will be spending vacation alone in an airport lost and found. 6. Fragile or valuable items. Here's a travel truth nobody likes to say out loud. Checked luggage gets abused. We're not talking about light tossing or gentle stacking. No, your bag is going to be thrown, dropped, kicked, dragged, rained on, and wedged under 3 other bags heavier than a concrete slab. Think WWE cage match, but your suitcase is the only one not fighting back. So, ask yourself, do you really want to check in your grandmother's crystal vase, a MacBook, or that fancy camera you just financed? TSA, airlines, and seasoned travelers all agree on this one. Never check fragile or valuable items unless you want to gamble with fate. Things like cash, watches, jewelry, electronics, passports, or prescription meds belong in your carry-on. Not because the TSA is out to rob you, but because bags go missing, and even the best airport crew treats luggage like it owes them money. And even if your checked bag does arrive safely, there's no guarantee your fragile item inside survived. That snow globe from your honeymoon, now it's a wet paperweight. Your brand new headphones, now they're plastic confetti. And if something valuable disappears, good luck. Airlines won't cover high-value losses unless you declare them in advance, which most people don't. TSA isn't liable either. And while travel insurance might offer something, the hoops you'll jump through aren't worth the payout. If it's breakable or it costs more than your flight, carry it with you. Checked bags are for clothes and dirty laundry, not family heirlooms and iPads. 7. Religious or cultural artifacts. You might see a ceremonial blade, tribal mask, or spiritual statue as sacred, but TSA just sees something sharp, suspicious, or flammable. Here's the ugly truth. Airport security isn't trained to recognize cultural significance. They're not archaeologists or spiritual advisors. They're trained to spot potential threats, full stop. So if your item has a blade, strange shape, strong scent, or just looks weird, it's going to raise eyebrows. And once it does, good luck getting it back. Heirloom incense burners, ritual knives, hand-carved idols, anything remotely exotic looking could end up being confiscated or delayed because someone doesn't know what they're looking at. They don't have time for context. If it could poke, burn, spill, or confuse, it's a problem. It doesn't matter that it's been in your family for 3 generations or came from a sacred ceremony. If it trips the scanner or makes someone nervous, you're getting pulled aside, and your artifact might not make it past the checkpoint. Want to avoid the drama? Be smart about it. If it's delicate, religious, or irreplaceable, don't check it. Either carry it on with proper documentation or ship it home using insured mail. That way, you're not stuck arguing with an agent who thinks your ancestor's antique bowl is a suspicious container. 8. Meat, seafood, or perishable foods. So you went on a trip and thought it'd be a good idea to bring back local meat, fresh seafood, or mom's homemade stew. Technically, you can check perishable food, but let's be real, should you? Hell no. Unless you're packing like a commercial exporter, vacuum sealed, insulated, triple bagged, labeled for customs, and packed with non-melting ice, that delicious food is going to turn into a stinking, leaking disaster. It's not just your suitcase that suffers. If it leaks in the cargo hold, it could ruin everyone else's bags too. Hope you enjoy that lawsuit. And here's the kicker. Most countries have strict regulations against importing meat, seafood, or dairy. Customs might seize it on arrival, or worse, fine you for it. So you just wasted time, luggage space, and money trying to smuggle a fish dinner across international borders. Leave the perishables behind. Buy fresh when you land. Nobody wants your suitcase smelling like spoiled shrimp in row 23. 9. Drones and their batteries. You want to film drone shots in the Alps? Cool, but the rules are strict. Drones can be checked, but the batteries cannot. Lithium-ion batteries must be carried in the cabin, not the cargo hold. Some airlines even require them to be charged below 30%. Tape the battery terminals, turn off the GPS, and if your drone has a flight mode, use it. Check your airline's policy in advance, or you'll be watching TSA hand your $1,200 quadcopter to security like it's contraband. 10. Power banks, especially the big ones. You need your phone charged, we get it. But if your portable charger looks like it could jumpstart a truck, it's not going in your checked bag. TSA isn't joking about lithium-ion batteries. These things catch fire, and when they do, it's not a little spark. It's a full-on cargo inferno. That's why power banks are banned from checked baggage. No exceptions. People think, I've flown with this before, no issue. That's not experience, that's dumb luck. One bad connection, one drop in the wrong conditions, and suddenly the luggage hold is a fireball. Here's what the airlines actually allow. Under 100 watt-hours, fine, carry on only. Between 100 to 160 watt-hours, you'll need airline approval. No visible watt-hour label, TSA might toss it out. Or worse, tear through your entire bag on the spot. If your power bank is the size of a brick and doesn't say anything about wah, don't risk it. Leave it behind or get a proper travel-safe charger. And no, duct taping it to your laptop doesn't make it legal. You're not special. The rule's for everyone. Keep it in your carry-on or be prepared for a security agent to treat you like you just packed dynamite. 11th, alcohol, over 140. Proof in that ultra-strong whiskey from your buddy's homemade still? Leave it. TSA doesn't care how rare, expensive, or smooth it is. If it's over 70% alcohol by volume, 140 proof, it's considered a dangerous flammable liquid. That's not just their opinion. That's international aviation law. Liquor that is strong is literally banned. Carry-on or checked, doesn't matter. It's not flying. You might as well bring a flamethrower. Now, regular booze under 140 proof, that's allowed, but only up to 5 liters per passenger, and it has to be in a sealed retail bottle. So, no mason jars, no unlabeled glass jugs from your cousin's mountain cabin. And for the love of all things decent, no leaking bottles wrapped in socks. Customs doesn't mess around with this either. Your suitcase smells like lighter fluid? That's not quirky. That's suspicious. If airport security thinks your bag might explode or burn, you won't just lose the booze. You'll be explaining yourself for hours. Play it smart. Don't be the idiot who grounds a flight over a bottle of DIY jet fuel. 12th, e-cigarettes and vape pens. Yes, we're still talking about this in 2025 because people keep screwing it up. E-cigs, vapes, jewels, whatever you call them, are not allowed in checked luggage. Why? Because they've literally exploded in cargo holds. This isn't a rumor, it's happened. These devices run on lithium-ion batteries, and just like power banks, they can overheat, short out, or combust. You pack one in your checked bag, and congratulations. You've just turned your luggage into a potential fire hazard. So, what do? Keep them in your carry-on only. And any spare vape batteries? Same deal, carry on or leave them behind. No exceptions. And don't be a genius who tries to sneak a puff mid-flight. Airplane smoke detectors are hypersensitive, and if you set one off, you're not just getting a slap on the wrist. You're facing fines, bans, and maybe even arrest. Vape smart. Or don't fly. 13. Cooking spray and aerosol cans. You'd be shocked how many people toss cooking spray into a suitcase like it's toothpaste. PAM, WD-40, bug spray, whipped cream canisters, all of it. If it hisses when you push the nozzle, chances are it's banned or restricted. These are pressurized cans, and when they're exposed to high-altitude pressure changes, they don't just leak, they explode. There's a reason TSA freaks out over aerosols. That little can of oven cleaner? It's not just a cleaning tool, it's a flying chemical bomb if something goes wrong in the cargo hold. Here's what's actually allowed. Personal care items like deodorant, hairspray, or shaving cream, under 18 ounces per container. You're allowed a max of 70 ounces total in aerosols, but only toiletries, not paint or flammable solvents. Air fresheners over the limit? Confiscated. Oven cleaner? That's a hard no. Even whipped cream dispensers with nitrous oxide? Not worth the risk unless you're trying to get flagged. Security won't be impressed when your bag starts spraying like a busted fire hydrant. Worse, if anything ruptures mid-flight, you'll have turned a commercial aircraft into a flying pressure cooker, play stupid games, win federal charges, leave the aerosols at home, or buy them when you land. 14. Camping stoves and fuel canisters. Ah, the modern survivalist, flying cross-country to rough it in the woods with a titanium jet boil and a dream. But before you pack your camping stove, understand this. Camping fuel is straight up banned, and stoves are under serious scrutiny. Let's break it down. Fuel canisters, propane, butane, isobutane, white gas, sterno. All banned from both checked and carry-on luggage. Yours doesn't matter if they're empty. Even a trace of leftover fumes, you're getting flagged. Camping stoves, they can fly only if completely purged of fuel residue. That means no smell, no wetness, no leftover carbon crust. If you think the TSA won't notice, they've got sniffer tech, and agents are trained to spot residue risk. If they even get a hint of flammable liquid, your stove's getting pulled, your bag delayed, and you're likely getting asked a lot of uncomfortable questions. If you must bring gear, call your airline before you pack. Better yet, rent your stove and fuel when you arrive. It's easier than explaining to federal agents why your backpack smells like propane. You're camping, not smuggling. 15. Life-saving medications. You'd think people wouldn't check their insulin, heart meds, or asthma inhalers like their extra socks. But they do. Every day. Then their bag gets lost in Denver, and suddenly they're on day 2 of their European vacation, without their blood pressure meds, wondering why their head feels like a jackhammer. TSA doesn't ban medications from checked bags, but common sense does. Luggage gets delayed, misrouted, or dumped on the wrong belt all the time. If your meds are in that bag, you're screwed. Even worse, some meds can be ruined by extreme temperatures in the cargo hold. You're not just risking loss, you're risking damage. Ever tried injecting heat-warped insulin? Hope you like ER visits. The rule is simple. If your body needs it to function, it goes in your carry-on. Not your suitcase, not your partner's suitcase, not your I'll be fine for a day guess. Keep it on you. Always. That's it. If you pack any of this junk, don't act surprised when your bag disappears or TSA pulls you aside. These rules aren't hidden. They're just ignored by people who don't think. Don't be that idiot. Pack smarter, or enjoy explaining fireworks to airport security.